Let me ask you a question, both of you guys. Let's start with you, Harry.
How much money do you make? That's what a lot of podcasts, when they have their guests on, they
No,
all
the
right,
podcast
how much
you
money
watch, fucking Nade Shot. Jeez.
Well, they do it. A lot of podcasts do it though. I do like 3 or 4 podcasts I watch. They have like somebody on the big. So how much money do you make? And they're just trying to see if somebody will respond, but they don't care if nobody responds. But
That's
they just
true.
try to see.
But here's what I don't like about that. Forget what's happening with that. I mean, I get it for an entertainment purpose. But what I don't like about that is the focus on that being the important thing.
But that's what the most of the people are curious about. Like, I'm not saying I am, but like the majority of the audience, like,
not
like,
how much, but how you get there.
No, I would think a lot of people, like, because you know what's so popular to just Google so and so's net worth. Like, people just like, okay. I have like,
but that's 2 seconds worth. What they have to say and why they're watching and listening to that person, that's the part that matters.
No, it
right?
is, and that's probably what they're doing and leading into that is and getting.
You're just saying as like a clickbait or as like a lead-in.
Yeah, because and then they just want to try to see if somebody will say, like, they had Zed on, and like Zed's made a lot of money in his day, and they like they just laugh and spin it into something else. But it's like somebody might slip and just be like $100 million, and they'll be like, wow, geez, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But most people wouldn't at that level. Like, nobody's gonna just like say it.
I think,
except if you're Graham Stephan.
I think, yeah. Well, I think in certain instances it makes sense, right? If you're a financial,
like, so I could see somebody asking you that. You go on somebody's podcast. Well, Hoss, how much money have you made?
0.
Like
right now.
People would be curious, like, because the whole money thing, whatever.
Yeah, and some of that is, I mean, it hits on different levels, right? One is they want to understand scale. So I get that. Like when I talk to founders and other businesses and so forth, you know, usually before I talk to them, I have a reputation, right? They kind of know, especially in M&A, they have some idea, but it's more about scale. So I was recently, talking about the esports team Liquid, that was looking to maybe bring some executive leadership on, and what we discussed. I mean, in most business situations, there's a proper way to do that, which is understand what scale you've been operating on in the past. That's what it is, right? And so, because operating a $1 million business versus a $10 million business versus a $100 million business are very, very different skill sets. It takes a lot of different experiences. So that's the realm of discussion that lands on, right? So, I mean, I guess normally we kind of answer that question in just different ways. But yeah, I mean, the way that Nade Shot does it is more for shock and fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? I see it on Instagram a lot, and this is why I shy away from it, is you see like a guy next to a bed, like on his knees praying, and he's got like just thousands of dollars in bands wrapped on the bed. Like that type of thing really fucking bothers me. It does. And it's very popular, but it's because it says a lot of things. The implications there are heavy and deep, and I really dislike it. But that's what I was talking about before, which is people get focused. Because when we were talking with Mike a few weeks ago, right? I feel like, especially if you don't have money, you get focused on just money. And I understand the practicality of it. But that is, even if you win and you make tons of money, that's a surefire way to be unhappy. If that's how you plan and set your life goals. Yes, making money is important. But if you focus on what I believe is, I just one guy, right? What I believe, if you focus on the right things for you, first of all, not like what I think is right, but the right things for a person, they're self-aware, they know what they're about. They know what they're passionate about. And then the 3 pillars we talked about, right? That I always talk about, that you're good at something, that you're passionate about, you enjoy it, and there's value in the market. That value in the market piece is what talks about money, right? And then patience, deploying patience for a long time. So all those things will get you to money. It's just you're going to have to be a little more patient. And that is the only way, I think, to have sustainable happiness in your life. And, by the way, make some fucking money. Like, I'm not against money. Like, I'm not against it. I'm not.
Flexcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fucking Flexcast, for goodness sake. But I don't want to make it about just the stuff, and that's what bothers me a lot. Like I get a lot of people like, "Hey, show me your watches and shit." And it's like, yeah, I like watches. I like cars. I share my joy in the cars and stuff that I'm interested in with them, but I don't want to be like, look at me, listen to me because I have shit, because I make money. That is not good enough for anyone, I think, to listen to me or anyone else or to aspire to. But how you get there, how you sustain that, happiness, being a satisfied individual with your life, that I think is really important.
I get a lot of times that we have friends or family friends come over and they see my car and they'll be like, wow, man, it must be so amazing to have that car and to drive that car and that must be so incredible. I'm like, it's a car. Like
Yeah,
I
the
enjoy
more aware-
driving it,
the-
but it's
there
a
you go.
car.
Exactly. The more aware you are, like, it's just a car.
And they're like, dude, you got to be so excited. It's like, yeah, I enjoy the car, but it's like, it's just a car. Like,
It's not me. It's not who you are.
People, like family, friends, they think that means the world. And like, and everybody interacts with me with it. I'm like, it's fun. It's a car, but I like don't want to sit there and talk about it for 20 minutes because like it's a car. I bought
There you
it
go.
to enjoy when I drive places, and it's nothing more than that. And there's more going on in my life than a nice
Just
car.
a car.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about car stuff, then it's we're into it.
Yeah,
And it's
if you're at a
different.
car show and
Yeah.
But like, so like, obviously I like cars and whatnot, but it's different when it's just like somebody talking about it as like this great holy thing that's going on. But the thing that I say
But
about
that's my concern is it's like with your viewer set, yours too. If you were to talk about stuff like that, which you don't, but even when you don't, they assume it, right?
yeah,
But if you were to do that, I think that would really, I don't want to say poison, but put people, whether or not, they might love you for it too, but it would put them, their personal lives and their future on a different path to aspire to that I just not sure I agree with,
Well, one of the things that I think with talking about money and people caring about making money and all, just pursuing it is, to me, the thing that I've honed in on the most is like that I've realized more over time is like, because I've made money and I'm financially I'm good. I'm not good forever, but like I'm doing good for myself, and I'm enjoying that. But the process along the way is what you have to enjoy. Like the process of what, like being able to sit back and like, obviously I'm doing something I enjoy, and money has come with that. But once it got to a certain point with money, you make a certain amount of money, you're like, you've satisfied that, level of like, I wanted to make a lot of money in what I'm doing. So I've satisfied that. So now what how do I go from like, what do I go from here? I can't just aspire to have like a ton of money and buy everything. It's like, now I have to realize why I work so hard to get here and enjoy that. And that's going to prolong what I'm doing. And for me to enjoy it even more is to see what I'm, to hone in on what I'm passionate about, and not like just that money aspect. Because when you're grinding at first, when you don't have money and you're worried about money, that's all your focus is, like, you're saying. But once you get to that making, enough to even cover your ground, like you have to be able to find something to prolong, that fuel to keep doing what you're doing.
And I think, and you're right, and I feel like you went the route. Correct me if I'm wrong. You went the route for a long while, and so did you, and most of us do this, of I'm going to go where it makes sense for me to make more money and do this type of stuff. And then there's a certain point where you're like, you know what, this kind of makes sense for me. This kind of makes sense for me to do this. I love this more, right? Marquise just did that. He just fucking quit his job because he wants to do something he loves and is into and investing himself. But my point here is that what you just said, and there's no judgment here, right? But that's a common and it's not like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's a common way to say, once I get mine, then I'll worry about that. And I want to offer another idea, which is, if you were happy and satisfied and good with who you were, not like with how much money you're making, that's fine. You can keep that separate. But the way that you talk about it, it's like you had a singular focus and then it shifted, right?
Well,
Similar.
I was talking just mainly on the money aspect.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because
singular focus on making money, for example.
No, so my focus was growing on YouTube and continue and growing that. And I knew that with that, if I work hard at it, the money aspect will come with it. But my focus wasn't, I need to make $1 million. And
that's what I was asking. That's what I was asking. I got you. So that and that's where I think that's the best way to do it for continued happiness, which is, I want to do YouTube. I want to be happy. I want to make videos. I want to do this, freedom to do what I want to do, that type of stuff. And by the way, if I work my fucking ass off, I'm good at it, and there's value in the market, then I'll make money. I can do that for a while. Like both you motherfuckers, plenty of fucking YouTube patience, right?
Yeah.
Like, I am a baby when it comes to YouTube, and I have to check myself, be like, fucking be patient.
That's the toughest part about it.
Yeah,
for sure.
But you're not like saying, so what I was getting to, which you're in a very good spot, which is you weren't doing it. Well, YouTube will make me the most money, so I'm gonna do.
Oh
YouTube.
no, I didn't even care about that.
And I know you weren't like that.
Yeah,
because I was I was a full-time student, and I was working 5 days a week at while doing YouTube, because I just wanted to do it. And my biggest thing is, like, if YouTube is able to sustain itself to where I don't have to work that job, amazing. But if it doesn't, I'm still doing what I'm doing. And that's a hard part of a jump, to like do it while you're doing other things, and being able to take that leap is hard, and bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. But for me, the whole time, I just wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to do YouTube for 10 years, and that's all I focused on. And then, like I said, once it became where I was able to, make it to where I can, my full-time job. And then from there, it grows. And even like you were saying with, for me, it wasn't get to a point money-wise, but it's I got to a point where like the money came along with it. And then I realized more, because it's a grind. You're just grinding away for years. You're just working every single day, never taking off, sacrificing relationships, sacrificing hangout, whatever. You're doing all that. Then I got to a point like once, I realized YouTube's not going to go away tomorrow if I take a day off. I was able to, now I take at least one day, which is you consider like a mental health day each week to reset myself, do what I need to do for myself mentally. Like for me, it's washing my car, cleaning the house, like that kind of stuff just kind of like not grounds me, but just kind of like helps reset me, clear my mind to get back into the work week.
That's the meditation. That's the therapy that you do on your
Mine's
own.
washing car, cleaning the house, reorganizing stuff, whatever. And I need that now, and I realize I need that, and I'll sacrifice money from that day, or
because
I'll sacrifice.
That's important for your mental health.
And I know I'm not going to be able to sustain what I'm doing if I don't do that. And I think it's becoming more talked about now for YouTubers than it has been ever, because creator burnout happens, and it happens bad to a lot of people.
Which makes sense because YouTube's young, right? YouTube started in what, 06, 07?
05, 06.
I remember when it started, and I was like, fuck, I should play with that, and I didn't. But but it's young, and it makes perfect sense. Like if you were a human being and you were 18 then to now, like you're going to grow, and so does YouTube, and so does creators on the platform and understanding a new economy. It makes perfect sense. And you went a similar route as he did.
No, I feel like when you've been doing this for so long, just like what you're going through right now. Like,
we started at like the same time, Steve and I.
Yeah, like washing your car, this and that. It's like sometimes that works, but over time, you look for other stuff. Like right now, my biggest getaway is travel. Like if I could get on, like, let's say 3 days, just go anywhere, go to Alaska or whatever. When I come back, I'm energized. I'm ready to go again. But it's like over time.
You ready to do a socially distanced trip?
No, COVID's worse than it was back in June.
I know.
All right, just checking.
I've been offered this weekend to go to Miami and to go to Cancun, and I turned them down.
I know.
But I
feel like Steve and I would be like,
it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
That's what I was saying to one of my friends. We were getting coffee, and I was saying something about travel, and I was like, I don't know what the conversation was like. We were talking about you or something, and he was like something about traveling, and I was like, if I called Haas right now, and I was like,
I'm in.
Let's go somewhere. Haas would be like, all right, let's get a jet. Let's go somewhere. Like if I found my call, says I want to go on a crazy trip. Let's get a jet and go somewhere. We'd be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But
so would Steve.
Yeah, I'm saying all of us. Steve would be down. We'd all just be like, all right, we need to get away. Let's go. But, I'm not that spontaneous. So,
well, I mean, so dealing with your introvertedness, both of you, you're a little worse. But
Steve likes to go out more than me. He's introverted, but likes to go out and just chill back.
Yeah.
He likes to just go out and be there and hang out.
Enjoy.
I don't want to be there. I'd rather be at home.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m.
And by the way, I rag on him all the time, and Steve, but there's no one way to do it. Like that's how I work. Steve does another way. Harrison does another way. Like I don't ever want to be fucking home vacuuming. Like that's not mindful to me. That doesn't do shit for me. But like other things that other people find completely terrible, I really enjoy.
Like having 30 people at your house.
Well, that's relaxing. That's a little bit different.
You're in your element.
I wouldn't say relaxing. It is replenishment for me. That's my food, So when you were like, "What, we fucking filmed 3 days ago?" Like 3 days ago, I was fine for half a day. In the meantime, I'm going fucking nuts. I talked to you the other night. I was like, "Let's make a video right now, tonight. Let's just do something."